February 2012, Arizona celebrates its centennial. We're proud of our history here in Arizona and excited about the future opportunities before us. Arizona has over 15,000 farmers and ranchers, adding $10.3 billion to the Arizona economy. From the 5 C's that we all learned in grade school, copper, cotton, cattle, climate, and citrus, to the emerging value-added crops of today, agriculture has played an important role in Arizona's economy, and it will continue to play that role in the future. Global trends and public opinion are shifting. Arizonans are redefining what's important to them and understanding where their food is grown and where the products they purchase are made is what's important. Agriculture has played a very important role in our history and will continue to play an important role in the future. There are 3 established wine grape growing regions in Arizona: the Greater Wilcox area in Cochise County, the Verde Valley in Yavapai County, and the Sonoyta-Elgin area in Santa Cruz County. And today we have over 50 bonded wineries. As the number of vineyard acres dramatically increases and the number of wineries coming online, we will see tremendous economic impact from this industry. Wine grapes and other value-added crops such as apples, pistachios, and cherries have the ability to transform rural Arizona. We have the opportunity to strengthen rural economies in Yavapai, Santa Cruz, and Cochise County by building and using the emerging wine industry as a model, by increasing the acreage and production of low water use crops and value-added crops. We can transform these rural economies, bring new jobs, create new businesses, and preserve the rural lifestyle that we enjoy. The momentum is growing. The emerging wine industry can be that model. The time is right for transformative change in Arizona.
Envisioning the future of Arizona, we see careful stewardship of our land, water, and other resources that allow our great-grandchildren to enjoy an Arizona that resembles the one we love so dearly.
I want to believe that we're creating here a lifestyle. We're creating a culture. It's bigger than economic development. It's something that's going to be here forever. And so we get it now, we do it right, and we give Arizona this gift. It's going to last forever, and it's going to be something that our children and our grandchildren will be proud of. And I think it's a wonderful thing. It's getting back to the earth, and I think the earth would be proud of what we're doing.
One of the reasons Jan and I got involved in the wine business was because I wanted to be a farmer. My brother's been a farmer his whole life for 40 plus years, and I had to work for a living. So what we decided we would do is when we retired, we would get into the farming business. And I didn't really want to grow commodities like cotton and alfalfa. And so we came down here to southeastern Arizona at 5,000 feet above sea level, and we grow wine grapes. And we think that the farming part is really the most challenging. And winemaking is driven by the quality of the fruit that comes in out of the field.
We wanted to come together in a multi-generational business. We had a passion for wine, and both of our families had been farmers before. We brought the children in, and because they're really adults, Bob runs the sales portion, John runs the vineyard, and we're all acting together, and our daughter designed the label. So we're very excited about the fact that we can all work together on this and carry it on to the next generation and beyond that.
We wanted to become stewards of the land. We wanted to be in every single process of the winemaking and really understand what it takes for these vines to flourish and to express their terroir and give us the amazing things they give us. And we also we bought this land and we want to care for it in the best way that is possible, so future generations, when they come upon this land, it is not wrecked, it's not ruined, it is not completely sapped of all that it had to give, that we are replenishing it for the future.
Buying products that are locally grown and made are important to our health, our family's well-being, and our community's long-term viability.
We try and grow as much as we can organically because there is not much space between what we put upon the vines and what we put upon the ground or spray upon our trees and what goes into our bodies then. So we try and do as much as we can to keep the soils and the water and the trees, everything, the grasses, the bugs, the good bugs, as healthy as possible.
Our wines offer a truly unique taste that can't be duplicated anywhere else in the world. They have bold fruit, earth elements, and minerality that are unmistakably from this place in Arizona.
If you stay local, you're dealing with owner-operated establishments, a lot of them. They are hands-on. They're in it, we're hands-on. It just resonates with what's happening in the area, and I support that 100%.
One of the great things about the wine business is that we actually get to make a product that people like. There's not every job that makes something that has a value to other people, and so that's very rewarding.
Quality and careful attention to authenticity reflects the uniqueness of this great state.
What sets Arizona apart from the other 46 states that might have the same potential as California, Oregon, and Washington and New York? Well, the thing that sets us apart from the other 46 is quality. Arizona has 9 wineries and over 105 different wines, different labels, that have been rated 85 or above by Wine Spectator magazine out of New York.
All the time we see people from the East Coast, from the Midwest, all over the place visiting, and it's because they're starting to hear that Arizona is actually a serious wine region. It's not just some kitschy thing. I really think we have the promise of being the next big wine region in the United States.
And that's our goal, is to be able to show the world the wines that we make here. And this is what Arizona tastes like, and we're going to bring them to you in a fashion that hopefully you're going to enjoy. We're not trying to recreate the wheel, we're trying to give you something new and something that Arizona can be proud of.
Envisioning the future of Arizona, we see families helping families to create communities built around common goals for the future.
The wine industry here has really built a very, very strong community in our Verde Valley region. When we started, we had a number of isolated communities not necessarily working very well together. We now find that we're all working together. We're all seeing a lot of the common goals, and we're achieving a lot of the results by working together.
Rod and I had a dream of living in the country. We weren't actually thinking of grapes when we were doing that, but we were thinking of farming. We loved this piece of property with the mountains and the trees, the stream in the back. Not all year stream, but every once in a while stream. And we decided we would buy it. Once we went to France and saw the mom and pop vineyards, we thought, why not Arizona? Why can't we grow grapes here? So that's what we did.
We started our winery back in 2003. We have 16 acres planted. Me, my mother, and my father run the whole place top to bottom, from the planting, the trellising, the harvesting, the crushing, to the 16 tons we shoveled yesterday.
6 years ago, we moved our art and design business from Phoenix to Wilcox because we wanted to be involved with the burgeoning wine industry out here and live in the country. And Wilcox wine country is really taking off.
I really see the opportunity for the children of the state of Arizona. I have 2 young boys, and my hope is that they can go get education in the wine industry and then stay here and to raise their families here and have an opportunity like this.
I support Arizona wine because I'm connected to the people who are making it. And I think that connection, it works for everyone. As far as context for people, in the Yavapai College who started a wine class. I know someone who's going and picking grapes with other wineries, and that introduces you to the family and what their history and story is. It's almost like a quilt. I mean, it's folk story. And that's what I love about art too. My favorite kind of art is folk art. And a winery is folk art.
Envisioning the future of Arizona, we see a place that nurtures passion, dreaming big, and the belief that if you work hard, you can achieve anything.
Wine is our passion. Think of wine. You have wine when you celebrate. You have wine when there's an anniversary. You have wine just when you talk over, an event with friends, or you have wine with a good meal. Wine permeates our lives in such a good way, it's always a joy.
The flavors, the coffee, the chocolate, The blackberries that I tasted, I could not believe came from a grape. And I've been interested in that journey ever since. And it's amazing now that that passion I had as a 16-year-old is now what I do for a living.
Almost every single student who walks in my door is so excited about the industry, whether they want to plant 5 vines in their backyard or they have 40 acres they want to plant. It seems like the interest level across the board is always outstanding.
What I wanted to do, I wanted to be able to say that the wine in this bottle is completely unique. It's not like any other wine anywhere else in the world.
I think what they're doing it for is for the lifestyle, to create a legacy for the community, and they're doing it because it's something that they have a passion about.
I love wine because it expresses a location. Wine is unique every single day. You pop a bottle and it's going to be different from one day to the next. And it really just describes a place without saying anything. You know, you can taste the dirt in Arizona from an Arizona wine. I can taste the difference between soils in California and soils in Arizona, and just the fact that we have a very unique landscape and climate, and it speaks for the state. I also like that it is sustainable and that it can kind of jumpstart our economy, and it's something that we can do to help ourselves. And so I really appreciate that.
Making wine, making memories, making families.
Envisioning the future of Arizona, we see our young people wanting to get in to agribusiness rather than trying to get out of rural Arizona. Agriculture will be considered cool and a rewarding career option.
It certainly is part of my vision, but it's the vision of the entire Verde Valley here. We started this program based on this series of charrettes where we brought the community in and asked them, we have 120 acres of land here. What do you see would be the best use of this land? And the community came back and said, what about this? What about this return, and the term we're using a lot lately is this agricultural renaissance in the Verde Valley. And what about sustainability? And where can people come to learn about this kind of stuff? And it all just kind of gelled together into this program, because we have everything that it takes to make this a successful program and to become the model of it for the Southwest.
And we're very fortunate. We have a community college, Yavapai Community College here, that really does reflect the interest of the community. And once we got started in trying to look at this new industry, we were teaching our first classes on campus less than a year after we started getting organized. Less than a year later, we were planting our first acre of grapes on campus. We now have developed a viticulture program, certificate and associate degree program. We're in the process of working out a 2+2 program to do a 4-year degree, and then graduate degrees here as well.
And we are working on the next portion, phase 2, which is build the winery and start teaching enology classes. And these classes have been received by so many different types of people. We have students that come from Phoenix, we have students that come from Prescott and Flagstaff that drive, an hour and a half each way, because there's nothing else like it anywhere in Arizona.
As a town that uses the vision, a place that makes sense, we're very excited about the college growing a Southwest Wine Center, an academic winery in our town. What we're really hoping to help them focus on is the use of low water use vines in a very arid climate.
A qualified labor force in rural areas will meet the growing demands of the emerging wine industry.
There's a lot of science and chemistry involved in the grape growing process and the winemaking process. I think if I'd have been exposed to this kind of thing when I was a young person, I would have been very attracted to it. We need to get the word out about how cool this industry is, how technology is advancing this industry as well as all agricultural industry, and I think it'll draw kids back to rural Arizona and want to be part of this lifestyle.
So I see us continuing on as far as the science part of it goes, as well as the part just to have a labor force available, an educated labor force available for all the wineries here locally.
I employ 8 full-time workers here. When Alcantara becomes fully potential, we're going to have over 70 people we're employing.
We were predicting that students could come here and get jobs. I have A local person who contacted me just Friday of this week said, I'm starting to manage some of the vineyards around on separate contracts. I could use some help.
I was born in Prescott, Arizona, and I never expected to settle down here, but I ended up working in the vineyards, and it started something for me that was a lot bigger than just a career for me and myself. It opened a door for my entire state, basically, and I saw it as something that I could really get behind and support, and that's really why I'm in this industry.
Envisioning the future of Arizona, we see thriving regional economies as a result of a strong wine industry.
In the town of Clarkdale, we expect to see the beginning of all these vineyards as the heart of the growth of a new industry. So with economic development, you have a key industry start, and you build supply chains around that industry. So we expect many other different kinds of businesses to come to the Verde Valley as a result of this anchor being here.
When we started back in 2003, there was only 3 wineries in the Sonoyta area. Now there's 10 with 3 more on the way. We've grown from probably around 40 acres to probably around 150 acres in the last 10 years planted in the area.
We opened our tasting room in November of 2006, and we have seen a tremendous growth in the wine industry here in this area. And we've seen with that growth an influx of people that wouldn't necessarily have come here in prior times. And with that, we're getting a lot of economic development, and we're seeing the region growing from the wine industry itself.
Our growth curve is phenomenal. I mean, since we released our first wines 5 years ago, we've doubled or tripled our production every year. I cannot keep up.
We can all be economically successful with creating industries such as this.
Low water use and high value specialty crops are transforming Arizona's agricultural regions.
A difference between specialty crop agriculture and traditional agriculture in Arizona is the scale. Traditional agriculture is usually about commodities, and the farms are very large. My brother farms in Casa Grande. He has a 5,000 acre farm, uses lots of water, and the fact is that it has a huge footprint, has a lot of impacts on the land and its neighbors. Wine grape growing, very small. We have 21 acres here in Pierce. We grow a wine crop on, and it doesn't impact the neighbors, doesn't use much water, and it's very valuable.
As a county supervisor representing a rural county, agriculture is very important. It's one of our major employers and major economic drivers. We struggle with, in Arizona, one of our biggest struggles is water. And one of the benefits of having a specialty crop, whether it's a vineyard, whether it's pistachios, whether it's pecans, any type of the specialty crops, is they're a high income crop, and they will generate much more income per acre than our conventional crops, for example, cotton or corn.
Our typical yield is about 3 tons of grapes per acre, which makes about 150 cases of wine. That 150 cases of wine will generate $45,000 of economic activity. To make that wine takes a lot of labor, supplies, equipment, and materials, which all funnel back into our regional economies.
Pistachios last year were the 4th largest exporters of nut products to China. So we're bringing money back into this country instead of shipping it out.
It's going to be very important to maintain or to encourage the specialty crops, especially vineyards. We have the soil, we have the temperatures, we have the climate. It's a great place. And I look forward to making Cochise County a friendlier place for specialty crops.
The wine industry is a catalyst for tourism and business opportunity.
In terms of Cottonwood in particular, to draw tourists into Cottonwood in our Old Town area, the wine industry was the perfect match for us.
Look at this industry. And we've been to Napa, we've been to Sonoma, we've been to these brilliant, great wine regions, and we said we could be that.
The visitors come to see wine grow. They don't come to see cotton or alfalfa grow or the cows run around the field. but they do come to drink wine, to visit the communities that wine has grown and sold in, and to visit the other attractions in the area. So wine has a real big multiplier effect in economic development as it relates to tourism.
The wine industry is a great catalyst. We have the wineries working with us doing tasting flights. For instance, we're doing wine tastings, gelato tastings, cheese tastings, and we've all been working together to try and promote and boost one another's business because they're very complementary of one another.
We thought that bringing in a complementary business like the oil and balsamics just made good business sense for us and a nice complement to them.
With all of these wine visitors, we bring a higher demographic, a more valuable customer to places like Willcox, Arizona, which is a very modest community, doesn't have a lot of economic development prospects. But we bring people to the town, they get to see what it's like, maybe they bring their own business. That's a proven fact in economic development. The other thing is we fill hotel rooms, we fill the restaurants, we create jobs. There's lots of spin-off from the wine business.
Now California is a $60 billion a year wine industry. Oregon is $2 billion, Washington State $4 billion a year. There's no reason why Arizona can't be the next billion-dollar wine industry in the United States.
The Arizona wine industry can be that catalyst for transformative change. It brings people together around common vision and goals. It builds our communities around our assets, our natural resources, our people, our common vision for the future. It serves as the model for bringing together other specialty crops and products. One of my favorite quotes is, "Leadership is planting a tree, knowing you'll never enjoy that shade." Every time we plant a grapevine in our vineyard, we're planting a future experience. That is our legacy we leave for future generations.